Yeah. Oh, good. That's loading nice. Gonna wait to see if some people show up. In the meantime, hi. Welcome to the usual Sunday Bootleg Cookie live stream. Even on camera, it's hard to keep eye contact for me. Gonna pose the rules real quick. Now the good news is I did start on the offhand items. I finished aligning Bannon, and like I still got like 20 characters to go to check and verify. So Bannon has access to offhand items in the store. I think Celeste does too, because Celeste was next one on my list. So we'll know when we get there. I can't test this myself, I have access to everything since I'm the mod. It's because I have to check that everything is aligned, because not everybody has the same base when it comes to hand placement and stuff like that. That's why it's easier with hats. Then I only have to deal with the height of the character. How's my tea? Scalding hot, I believe. I just made it. Yeah, painful, as expected, but still tasty. I like me some black tea. Another thing I could do is just make all offhand items available for every character, and then align them as I go instead of keeping them behind a wall. I also want to see if I can work with chairs. I'm supposed to be able to use chairs and ladders for you guys, but like I said, one thing at a time. I want to give you guys some more equipables before we start on the fancier stuff. Speaking of fancier stuff, still nobody's going to talk about this because, well, it's being recorded and archived on YouTube, so somebody's going to see this eventually. I've ordered some new art supplies that came in this week. Gonna start with these eventually. I present to you an art supply that is completely new to me. Paint pens. Just gonna get the protective caps off, and as you can see, these are clearly torture devices used by dentists. And by clearly I mean my Zoom doesn't want to automate anymore. But regardless, I'm gonna grab the bigger one because I have two sizes, 0.05 and 0.25. Basically what happens with these is that you put the paint in the tank and then it will effortlessly, honestly, from my first trial of these that you can see on my Instagram, my Twitter, stuff like that. Oh heck, I could have just put that on this end the entire time. Okay. And then you can do line art with, so far what I tested it with, which was a Gensai Tambi Kuretake watercolor paints, which are more opaque than regular watercolors. So, like, it works with a certain viscosity. And honestly, it works surprisingly well. These were just tests. These were tests from years ago for different paints. It's mirrored for you guys, but that's not important. The importance is to see how clear the line art is when using watercolor and a mix of mica pigment. So yeah, I've only tested these once, yesterday, before the Mario movie, which was awesome, and that's all I'll say about that. Because it's The Mario movie is still freshly in the theaters right now, so I'm going to shut my mouth. But yeah, I bought this so specifically because you can do line art with it. You know, Shiro, you can also do that with a small brush. Yeah, well, these are less likely to fray. And I know I can use my brushes to do line art. I usually, no, not this one. It's meant for line art, but I actually use the bigger one for line art. This is a Menso Kuretake brand Menso brush. It looks fluffy right now, but just put in a little bit of liquid and it keeps a point. Like, I've had this thing for years and it still keeps its point. Like, chef's kiss. You can find them for cheap on AliExpress. But yeah, with this I thought I'd get a more even line than I do with a brush, because I can't help it. Sometimes I get shaky hands, sometimes I mess up my pressure. And I was right. This works beautifully. I was very surprised. Like I said on Twitter, it's like the G-Pen and the Maru brush all over again. As in, the big one is nice and smooth, and the little one is scratchy. Because that's what usually happens. I also got a... hang on. I'm caught in the packaging. There we go. Put that here. A melamine coated plastic tray. And it was my Easter present from Mom, and I asked for it specifically because it looked easy to clean. And it is! And the fact that it has tons of little wells looked interesting to me because honestly, I've been trying a lot of mixes lately, as you guys saw earlier, mixing mica powder with my watercolors to make special effects. I have so much acne today, it's distracting me. And yeah, it did what it needed to do. And as you guys can see, it cleans like a charm. Finally, I'm gonna reach over my little order from AliExpress. People talk about Wish, people talk about Temu. I'm gonna talk about AliExpress because I got good stuff from there. But you gotta expect that you're not necessarily going to get great quality. So I've got some more decorative washi tape for future washi tape art. And the zoom just does not want to work with me today. But still, like, these are really pretty. I'm hoping that one day I'll understand watercolor enough to be able to get the effect like the tape in the middle. I mean, all this practice is gonna have to, like, work eventually. And there's the second set of Sakura washi that I ordered. If it ever decides... There we go. Nice little ribbon ones. And finally, a set of skies in pink, blue, purple, and... well, I should say pink, indigo, purple, and blue. That's more like it. It's all colors I like. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, the So Very Unofficial hub. I've finally redesigned some parts so it's prettier to look at. It's no longer blue. That blue was getting on my nerves for years now. It is now Sakura Pink because I like pink. I believe we had a lot of hints about that. And I've changed some stuff around. I've added my link tree on top. Well, I've done that like months ago when Twitter started going nuts. Now it's just nuts by default. Just realized I forgot to put myself on the Do Not Disturb. Oh, hi, Paul. Good afternoon, Paul. If you just logged on, you just missed the new art supplies I just got. If you want, I'll talk to you about them later, because I'm not gonna repeat everything. People are gonna get mad. I'm gonna start moving my stuff across the screen. I will tell you that I did a little bit of work on the stream avatars. Bannon, the character Bannon, has access to all the offhand items now. I will be slowly releasing them for each character. I got like 20 characters to realign the items on. But Bannon has access to all the offhand items in the store. Celeste should have access to them, but they're not aligned yet. So anybody who uses Celeste will be weirded out, probably. So there's that. Another sip, because let's be honest, I'm thirsty. I didn't pick up my stuff from all my tests from yesterday with the painting pens. So this is going to be comfortable. Wake up. Grab a brush, put a little makeup. There we go. I will say that it was really silly yesterday that I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and yet I had an alarm for a game that I play that is on an event right now that has a timer, and it set the silent alarm to my not silent watch. So yeah, I'm glad that the theater room was like really noisy. Like nobody noticed, nobody at all. Oh yeah. I gotta put it here because I can't put it there because I got everything here that I need to pick up. Paul is trying out hats today. When sketching, it's okay to overlap your lines. If anything, is the only way you know if you got it at the right place. Also, for those of you, well, the Patreon supporters probably noticed that I didn't put anything about Power Trip this week. Yeah, there was a little issue in the middle of the week that prevented me from working, to put it politely. Thankfully, it is now resolved. and I'll be able to get back to work starting next week. No, I'm already on back issues. Speaking of back issues, got it back under control. This is my problem. I struggle a lot with staying hydrated. I'm just not that thirsty. But I need to drink a bit more than I think for me to feel good. Know what I mean? Man, people are really liking my Wally Darling piece. My one Wally Darling piece. Usually what happens when people latch on to one fan art that I do is I completely change fandoms. Keeping people on their toes, that's what I do. Forgetting to wait. Outline is on. I don't want the outline. Oh my jeez. There. Bon. On va le régler le problème. Speaking of régler le problème, y'all remember last weekend I only had one battery left for my tabmate? Well, there you go. Problem solved. Good for a while. Still wish this was like rechargeable. Like, it would only make sense, but then again, this is the same country that are still working with faxes, so yeah. Oh, I'm still on fonts. Oh, lucky me. Sound effects. Well, you don't want to scale anymore? Even if I took that off? Ah, there we go. My Zoom has questions. There we go. So far, I'm pretty happy with paying the license for version 2. Not that there's anything... not that I was complaining about paying for version 2. That is not what I was complaining about. Is the fact that that under the original idea of that Celsius had was that I would subscribe to version 2 and then would continue paying, or else I would lose my tools and then would go back to version 1. Like, I'm more than willing to pay for updates. That's how it worked when it was still called Manga Studio. I literally have a disc of Manga Studio 5, I believe, which was still technically clip version 1, But like that specific version of version 1, because version 1 had so many updates. Gotta love Command Z. Has the weather been really nice where you are? We have had summer here all week. Well, we've had a lot of sun. Like, a lot of people were worried about me this week because, down the road, quote unquote, down the Bas-Saint-Laurent, they got hit with quite the ice storm, which cut the electricity off for a couple days. Thankfully, it was not at the scale at the 1998 Tempête du Verglas, so there's that. And because people know I live in Quebec, they see Quebec, they think, oh my god, Shiro's in trouble. Which, by the way, thanks for worrying about me, but I was fine. We didn't even have a blip. It was pretty sunny. Cool-ish, but sunny. The snow is melting. I'm not complaining. Sorry for the zooming in and out. I don't know what's up with my wheel. Maybe I need to disconnect and reconnect my tab mate. We'll putz with that after the stream. I sometimes forget you're in Quebec. You live so close to Greenland. I do not. Newfoundland is close to Greenland. I am not. I was telling one of my American friends about how we only have the theater we have literally only has one viewing room. And he literally said to me, I don't know if it's one of those times where you're being truthful or you're fucking with me. I'm not fucking with you, bruh. Why would you think one room in a theater in a small town is worth me fucking with you? I love my dad and he means well, but sometimes they're ow. And you know what's the best part? Sarcasm. My dad bought this fan for my mom because she's very hot at night. She won't turn it on because it makes the dog piss on the floor. I tried getting her some cooling pads to put under her so she could maybe be comfortable when she sleeps. Not using them because they hurt her hips. I don't know what to do anymore. We have a song for that in Quebec. Découragé, je n'ai plus d'espoir. You should get a cat there better. Not happy with that. When my parents are gone, I'm in charge of puppy sitting. Mom doesn't want to drop her at my sister's once in a while even. Can you imagine? I don't know what that says about the dog or what that says about my sister, but I should probably double that whack. And put it here. Spam, spam, spam. I'm bound to do something really nice soon. This week, sometimes this week, I think, I don't have any concept of time anymore. Never did, actually. I made a short comic called Welcome Home Nephew. I posted it. People seem to like it, especially the final panel, because I posted it panel by panel. Since then, I've had at least 2 more ideas. But I also need to do some personal art, or else I will go insane. But basically what Welcome Home Nephew is, as a concept, is simply Wally Darling from Welcome Home being the nice, loving uncle of Yellow Guy from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. And that's it. That's the whole idea. I don't plan on having anything spooky happen. Not really spooky, but I do plan to make it a little uncomfortable. Like, I have a whole synopsis and all written about the concept and why I'm doing it. I will say it's literally only to tide me over while I wait for more story from Clown from Welcome Home. Like, we're literally in the first 5%. Clown said it themselves. We are in the first 5% of the story. We're in the prologue. Barely anything happened yet. So the Wally Darling I'm using is like the Wally Darling of the show, and not the Wally Darling that is currently trapped in the website, as far as we know. And because this is the internet, I have to make clear that I am not trying to improve the story. No. This is just me using my own way of waiting on Clown to continue their story. It's to tide me over. I just want to do something nice for Wally and for Yellow Guy. That's it. And yeah, I have to say it because people will take canon very seriously. And if you guys have been paying the minimum attention to most of my online presence, my online presence usually go by So Very Unofficial. My website's name is soveryunofficial.com. I splurge a little money on it. And I think it's clear by now that I have... Not only do I play fast and loose with canon, I'm not in charge of canon. If I change something, it will do absolutely nothing to the real story. It's not even me writing theories, because that's literally 2 different stories from the 2 different people. Like, one's a guy, well, a clown, I should say. One's a clown, and the other is a team of people. Which I'm pretty sure in 2 different countries. Like, literally, the idea is so shallow that the only reason I made Wally Yellow Guy's uncle is because they both have yellow skin, they both have blue hair, they're both small. And I just thought Yellow Guy deserved a little bit of good stuff happening to him for once. One thing I do plan on sticking to, because I do have 2 other stories that I have written down, but I have yet to illustrate for that story concept, is that Wally will never force a hug on Yellow Guy. The thing is, with Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, the cast is usually forced to follow in the activity that they are assigned for the episode. So they don't have agency on what they do or their own body. But Wally, despite being a very loving character, I can't say guy because I don't know what the real Wally is like, would go out of his way not to impose hugs on a Yellow Guy. Whenever Yellow Guy hugs Wally, it's out of his own volition. And as for the uncomfortable moments that I mentioned, gotta keep in mind, if you have watched Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, Yellow Guy is very, very traumatized. The boy is not right. So Wally will do his best in his Sesame Street way to comfort Yellow Guy. I could be talking about welcome home theories until the cows come home, but there's like so many videos about it on YouTube right now. And when I'm not watching art videos, I'm watching those, so if I'm using one, it's the one where people guess that Wally, the one trapped in the website, is very, very lonely because he doesn't have access to all his friends in the show. So, my quote-unquote Wally does have a feeling of loneliness, but he does have access to his friends. Mini spoiler, one of the 2 stories will involve Howdy Pillar. So yeah, he does have access to his friends, and in the story that I did publish, Yellow Guy mentions Barnaby and Poppy and Frankie. So they are present in this alternate universe. because Clown has been overwhelmed by the response to Welcome Home after Nightmine's video. They decided to step back a little bit. So yeah, all the more reason for me to want to do some stories to tide me over until the next update. Because if I catch anybody forcing Clown to work for the last thing I want to do is force somebody to work on their project that they started for their own fun. I don't want to pressure people on their personal projects. It's personal for a reason. Because pressuring someone on their personal project is a guaranteed way to have them cancel the project. Your comic looks great so far, Sharon. Thank you, Paul. Hopefully, future art this week will look as good. I talked about these earlier. If you want, I can talk about them in private in the chat after the stream. Painting friends. Possible you saw the test results in on my social media. Of course, I'm going to want to do some watercolor line art with them. I have not tested them with ink. Personally, I don't really see the point, seeing as I have some perfectly good G-Pen and Maru nibs. But if there is a request to test them with ink, I will do it. Because you have to have a certain viscosity to the supply you're using, so that it both stays in the tank, but still flow through the nib. And I expected that, therefore my tests went really smoothly. Like almost scaringly smoothly, like the type of thing that you try for the first time and it goes super well and you're like, Ooh, my bots have so much to say. Speaking of bots, I have to talk about this. Remember on YouTube the reason why I put the stream like on super restricted, that you had to be a follower to be able to participate in the chat, because we had Russian bots that would drop in the chat, say like 4-letter non-words constantly? Well, yesterday, Melon Husk rolled out a change to Twitter that only people who paid $8 for the blue tick would be in the For You tab on Twitter, okay? And that measure was, quote-unquote, to finally counter all the bots on Twitter. That was the claim. Well, since it was implemented, somebody commented under my Twitter, or my tweet, I should say, about the King Art's painting pens. And all they asked, that person is okay. We are not touching that person. That person is fine. It's a real person. All they asked was, is that what's called a G pen? What kind of pen are they? Perfectly normal question, perfectly normal person. But somehow, at least 4 different Chinese bots, I gotta say Chinese because they use Chinese names, because they followed the poor guy and replied to his comment with random mishmashes of words. And that is right after Melon Husk said that the change that we implemented is finally going to tamp down the bots. And this is the first time I've seen these types of bots on Twitter. Good fucking job, Melon Husk. Of course, he's so susceptible, I have to talk like I'm trying, like I didn't get the license for a product placement in a movie. Bepis. You know what I mean. Good old refreshing cuckoo cola. Like, bad enough I've got DM requests from bots that are trying to get me a part-time job, quote-unquote. Or there was one that either asked me if I wanted to be a sugar baby or a sugar mama. Either way, wrong gender. But that one was interesting and unique, to say the least. I'm like, yay, great job. Besides, I'm always on following anyway, and I made a list of artists that I follow. Because what's left for me in the For You tab if he's only going to allow blue ticks? Like, yeah, that's right, I had somebody on the Instagram. Instagram's another fricker for scams. What's gonna be left? Like NFT people, AI art people. And scammers that make enough money through their scams that they're going to be able to afford a blue tick. Long story short, what an idiot. I better not hear people go after me. Well, do you think you can do better? No, that's why I didn't buy Twitter. I mean, no, I'm not a billionaire, because my parents don't own a blood mine in Africa. But I just know that when buying a company, it would be better, like, not to fire 3/4 of the staff. Looks like you at least were able to get rid of the bots in your Twitter replies. Yes, I did. I blocked them and I reported them. And then I was able to delete the replies. And then answer normally to the normal person. And if people don't like that I don't like the way AI art is being used right now, or that I don't like NFTs and stuff like that, the door's right there. Fuck off. I don't want to hear anything about your alienating clients. No, I'm not. I'm alienating fuckers. That's what I'm doing. Because if you already think like these people do, you are going to be a fucking nightmare to deal with in a commission setting. If anything, I am trying to avoid migraines. Oh, speaking of migraines, DA was on fire this week. Literally had people... Like, it was 2 people, but it was 2 people too much. You know what I mean? In my inbox, again. One was in my inbox. The other one decided, no, I'm going to do this publicly. Because I am so good at making decisions. And the one guy asked me if I was taking requests, but not quite as eloquently. So I told him, no. If you want to talk about commissions, feel free to email my rep. And they say, oh, okay, so how do I reach your rep? And I'm like, you clearly didn't read my front page. So I sent him the email to my representator. And They go, what's that? An email. So I know it's an email, dude. Oh, ho, 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 already with the attitude. You just lost yourself the chance to even be in my presence. Why don't you do work on the divine art? So I told him. Because I can't be arsed. Of course, I actually used more words than that, but basically, I can't be arsed. Like, you are giving me serious losing my time vibe, and if you gotta lose somebody's time, might as well lose the time of the person I'm paying to take my time loss. Know what I mean? Then I said in uncertain terms, I should say, because I was still trying to be somewhat nice. That clearly, because they don't want to follow instructions, that this wasn't going to work and that they should go bother another artist. And they replied with, "Okay, who?" Block. Okay. I'm done. And I better not hear the excuse, "Yeah, but Shiro, maybe it was just a kid." That's even worse. Sure enough, a couple days later, somebody decided to say, "Hi," on a reply I made to somebody else on one of my Power Trip pages. And of course I ignore that. I don't reply to single eyes either. That just scream kid. And before anybody says, again, "But Shiro, usually you help kids." Usually, yeah. This is divine art. This can and will escalate in the worst way possible. So then they tried replying to another one of my comments. If I remember well. I know I didn't delete that conversation, but I did block them in the end. And they said that they had they didn't ask for the idea yet. They asked if they could be friends, because I draw really good. And I said, "How old are you?" 17, why? I'm 40, this ain't gonna work. And he said, I have an idea." No, you do not have an idea. I don't know what that idea is, and boy, do I not care to learn. Because either this is going to get me in trouble, or you're about to ask for a free request, and no. And not just that. I have literally said no to this kid. Like, I told him to go find friends his own age. And then he goes, "I have an idea." That is ignoring my no. That is a learned behavior of ignoring my no. You do not ignore people's agency. This is not open for debate. No means no. So of course he insists, thinking I'm gonna break down and go, fine, what's the idea? No. Like the first time he said, I have an idea. That's when I said, well, I got an idea too, go find people your own age. And go, would you listen to my idea? And I go, bye-bye now. And goes, wait, listen to my idea. And I blocked him. I am zero curious about the idea. And if he's listening to this, I still don't want to know your idea, buddy. If you have an idea, I'm pretty sure you have some crayons. And the only way to learn to draw badass like I do is to draw yourself. Like, seriously, short of outright telling him I am not comfortable with this situation, which he was clearly going to ignore, which he did, let's be honest. Straight tea leaves. Yeah. Still good tea though. Really good tea. Yeah, but Shiro was just a kid. You're nice to kids, usually, that when they want to learn. Here's the thing. The kids that I deal with when they want to learn, that I know that they're not going to be little shits, they have adult supervision. I do not trust them in an online setting without an adult near. Because at the first mention of, I'm mature for my age, I am running in the opposite direction. If you're mature, you're gonna get your mom or your dad on the line, thank you. Like that kid that I invited to draw at my table at Timmins Con. He had his mom with him. The little girl that decided, I am going to help you with your sketch card. Her dad was in the store. The students that I helped teach online, there was another adult teacher in the Zoom room. So you will excuse moi if I feel highly uncomfortable when they hit me up on the Viner, of all places. Oh man, I just remembered that one time a little girl asked me to remove the mature content on the mature content picture just because she wanted to see it. I'm like, you really think that's gonna work? The fuck do you think I put the mature filter on? And of course that's when I get the excuse, I'm mature for my age. Every time I hear that, I picture the 28-year-old boyfriend. Know what I mean? Just came back from a wild car drive and eating chunks of meat. My tummy might explode. Have some Eno. If you don't have Eno, have some Pepto-Bismol. Joel doesn't count. Joel is in his mid-20s. And he's actually her friend. He is a fellow artist. And as soon as I figure out how to invite other artists on stream, oh boy, am I going to lose my fucking mind. You gotta keep in mind, I'm an old fart. I'm 40. My mind is slowing down as if it wasn't already slow as molasses because I have ADHD. Something is itching me in my glove. If I ask politely, maybe Sharon might show me the censored wee-wee. If I remember well, I think I put the mature content because it was a little bloody, and that's it. Not because it was a wee-wee. But, like, kids, put yourself in my shoes for, like one minute, okay? You are asking an adult to show you mature content. If you are mature for your age, quote unquote, you would understand why this is a very terrible idea. For last time, you don't have dementia. We've had this conversation before, don't you remember? Don't try. Don't pretend you're the type to gaslight me. Mom was convinced she had dementia. Like, oh my god, I got dementia, I got Alzheimer's, I'm forgetting stuff all the time, and I was just sitting there like, Mom, you have ADHD. Get tested for ADHD. You don't have amnesia, you don't have Alzheimer's, you don't have dementia, you don't even have Parkinson's. You're just an idiot because you have ADHD, like I'm an idiot because I have ADHD. And I'm not even diagnosed, and I know I have ADHD. You have ADHD. Until finally, 3 weeks later, when she comes back from her appointment of testing, I have ADHD. Kids these days be like, let's see some skin. It wasn't even skin, it was blood. Regardless, I did not take the mature content off. If anything, if I could have put more on, I would. Just because of her. I am not breaking the rules on mature content just because a kid asks nice. Especially because a kid asks nice. I have an online presence. I would like to keep it and not end up in jail. Thank you very much. Which brings us back to people ignoring my no when I say no. I have a good reason to say no. Please respect it. If you cannot respect my no, then you can freaking guarantee that the no I'm giving you is going to be bigger. And bam, blocked. Because I am not here to debate. I was not in the debate team in school. There's a reason for that. We are not going to argue my no. And stomping your foot and going, oh, come on, is not gonna work. I worked retail. I've had adults pull the, oh, come on. I've had adults go, I'm going to go to your manager / boss. I had some go, I'm going to tell your mother, because they wanted me to break policy. Oh, that was the best part. Like, I do not look that young, okay? Especially now. And even then, like I was in my 30s. I'm going to tell your mother. I know your mother. What's she gonna do? What exactly do you expect is gonna happen? Like literally, I know your mother. Yeah, I know my mother too. Lovely woman. Live with her, in fact. Like, my question is, did this ever work for them? No means no, kids. Yeah, see, listen to Joel. Did that had to work for them on, like, teenage employees at McDonald's or something? For them to try it on me, because, let's be honest, I'm the same height I was in 6th grade. Also, I played peekaboo with a baby while at a restaurant. She was adorable and laughed when I puffed my cheeks and made silly faces. Aw, you're sweet. You're a good bean. Go ahead, tell me. Make my day. Yeah, that's basically what I said to that one woman. Like, I don't know what you expect, but it ain't gonna be what you... Wait, it ain't gonna be it. Like, let's pretend real quick that Mom had any agency in what I do. What do you think she would have said if she asked me, Shiro, what did you do at work today? Somebody told me that you misbehaved. And then I told her the truth. That person wanted me to break policy. Or like ask me for a discount, and like, I was not a manager, I could not grant discounts. Get 2 large kists on them. My mom being my mom, she would have been, oh, well, that's stupid. She would have done something as if she would have done when I was young. When she was told that I misbehaved and turned out that I actually behaved for a reason. The worst she would have done is, like, took me out for ice cream or something. At age 30. Oh, like that would stop her. We all deserve some ice cream, no matter what age we got. And yeah, the kisses because, well, I got hit upside the head. That's the story I was talking about on Facebook. About when Dad hit me upside the head twice. It was super funny. You would think after living in the same body for over 60 years, he would know his strength by now. But nope. You would think. Then again, not a lot of thinking is going on in this house in general. That includes me. Like, the stuff I know. The stuff I don't know, holy jeez. Because that's the thing with ADHD. Sometimes you can hyper-focus on stuff that interests you. Stuff that doesn't interest you, it will never enter your brain. And thus, you struggle at school. And then you get accused of being lazy. And because you can hyper-focus on stuff you like, and you're really good on the stuff you like, you're being accused of not applying yourself. I apply myself where I can. Not where I want. Where I can. Because trust me, we do not get to choose where we hyper-focus. The amount of time I would just stare at my homework and cry because my brain refused to kickstart. Lord. And then being told I was lazy. When I myself couldn't understand why my brain wouldn't start. And of course, don't get me started on the teachers deciding that I thought I was better than the others. Oh, Lord. That was an issue. And here's the thing, I was tested for my IQ. Like I say I have a 127 IQ. I don't know. I don't know this. This is a result from an online test from like 1997. Go figure. could have been as legitimate as when you put your name into one of those questionnaires on Facebook and they give you the definition that your name means gift of God. So yeah. I got an IQ test because my teachers thought I was an idiot. But because I present as female, they never thought of testing me for ADHD. So I don't know my real IQ. Could have changed by now. What with all the head trauma. And no, I'm not talking about this because it's not like he hit me hard enough to even leave a bruise, but it was like boom boom. This is pressed wood. I was fine. But the kind of abuse I suffered in school. So I got the IQ test. The guy that tested me tells the teachers that turns out I'm not stupid. I'm actually incredibly intelligent, according to them. Not catching on that maybe I might be neurodivergent, but anyway. But he told Mom never to tell me. Like she wanted the number, the IQ number, and he didn't tell her. He refused to tell her, and he told her not to tell me. That turns out that I was really smart. My IQ is that of a parrot. Yeah, but you're a very smart parrot. Parrots are geniuses. And because then it would give me an inflated ego, and I would think that I was actually better than the others. So what turned out happening was for my entire childhood and almost all of my teenage years, I was convinced that I was an incredible idiot, yet the teachers would tell the other kids that I thought that I was better than them. Make it make sense. And it's still true to that day. Because yes, I was super proud, still am. I was super proud that I won silver on favorite artists for Sequential Arts, Sequential Magazine. I don't think I'm better than the one who won bronze. And I'm not jealous of the person that won gold. That never occurred to me. I am proud for myself that I made it this far, that people consider my art their favorite. I'm just like, yay for me. I don't feel the need to punch down. And that is really, really hard for a lot of people to understand, even when I explain it to them. Because a lot of people I interact with that are not my friends, that don't understand how I function, will assume that I have this gigantic ego before they even talk to me or see how I interact with people online. Because yes, I will play the part that I have this gigantic ego, but this gigantic ego is for myself. It's to remind myself that yes, I am allowed to exist. I'm proud of you, Sharon, sincerely. Thank you, Joel. Because seriously, I do not care if I'm better than someone else. We all have our different strengths. Or like when I say that somebody else is much better than me at art, and people automatically try to comfort me, and I'm like, no, it's fine. It's really fine. Good for them, even. And then I'm like, it just means I need to practice more. And I'm like, yay, more practice. That means I get to draw more. I see no downside to this. love practicing every day. I do too. There's some days I don't practice, and that's okay too. No point practicing when you're tired. Because then your hand will shake, or you won't be able to focus, or your head will hurt, your eyes will hurt, and then the art will not come out super good, and then you're going to say, what's the point of it? No. You're just giving yourself trouble for nothing at that point. Like, don't tire yourself for nothing. That's what I'm saying. I don't really have a big choice of greens, huh? So here's what I'm going to do. There's always a method to the madness. But Sharon, I'm the madness within. Oh, please. You are an adorable little bean. I've had pimples more terrifying than you. You are precious. Just noticed I forgot to color the screwdriver. You guys don't let me forget it again, okay? In fact, I'm gonna do it right now because I will forget it again. ADHD! Almost done, people. Just gonna do some work on the lettering, and we're going to be good. Definitely prefer the more organic look of the curved balloon. The fact that it's not perfectly even is what gives it charm. It makes it look more natural. Even if it behaves bizarrely sometimes. Extraño, I think it is. This was a fun show. Thanks, Sharon. I hope you and Joel have a great afternoon. You too! And you can always watch the YouTube recording if you want to see the art supplies I was talking about before you logged on. Here we can have the edges. I'll check it out for sure. You're always really helpful. I try. The irony of saying this after I spent a lot of the stream complaining about kids trying to hit me up on the let's put it like this. I'm helpful if I don't get the creepy vibe, okay? Not a creepy vibe. The creepy vibe. And if I have the creepy vibe, I am not helping. If you give off a creepy vibe, I am zero helping. That's basically what's going on. And sadly, a lot of kids on DeviantArt gives me the creepy vibe. Jackie Chan's uncle. One more thing. One last thing. There we go. That's it. That was the problem. That was the issue. We're good now. Therefore, we are going to the bookend. And as usual, with every end of stream, extra special thanks to our supporters. Amber B, Paul K, Miss Enovis, David F, Marianne J, Zedna. Your continued support is immensely appreciated. We have had some recent new Patreons. Right now, I hadn't put the first one on the end card yet because they have a very sus name, honestly. So I'm waiting a whole month before I add new Patreons on the end card, so they don't just like drop $1 and go. That's why. So the ones on the list are the regular ones. So Like it's $1 just to encourage you to keep giving $1 per month. It's like super cheap. But yeah, extra special thanks to the regulars. And of course, next live stream Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you guys had fun watching me draw this. Had a lot of fun drawing it. I'll see you guys next week. I love you all, and bye-bye.